Hello guys, last time we have done correct objectives and definition of company law. So here is d.nikita and today we were discussed about characteristics of company law. So shall we start? So here is the characteristics. Number one, separate legal entity. Yes, of course, company and their person or both are separate legal entity. We can't say company or their members are same because their duties and liabilities both are different and it have all rights which is separate and members of company all are liable for it. So here is separate legal entity means company and their member both are different rights and duties, and that's why company have different legal entity and we can call separate legal entity, and we can say members or company both are not same. The point second is the company property asset liabilities belong only to the company. Yes, of course. The person and the company both are different as first one separate legal entity. That's why their properties and asset liabilities are different. Even member are not liable to that of company. Yes, because of point one separate legal entity. If company have a burden or a liable for a some amount, so their member are can't pay for it because of company on the behalf of ourselves doing expense or paid for it, but not for the behalf of company member are liable to pay. Then if they are pay on the behalf of company, so after some time those amount that much they are paid, that will be reimbursed to their members. Then third point is principle of separate legal entity of the company judicially recognized by House of the Lord in 1867 in the case of Ox v. Turquoise and Horing 1816. So here is the point one, separate legal entity is recognized by Ox v. Turquoise and in the year of 1867. Here is an example. Ashish and the company is totally different from a Ashish, and he hold all um, chores profit, but the profit of the company is not the profit of the Ashish. Shows all shows, but the profit of the company is not the profit of the Ashish. That's because company have a different duties and power. If company achieve a profit, we can't say that the profit is for their member. Okay, that much profit company earn, that is a company profit. We can't say that is a member profit. For example, 2 Solomon versus Solomon and the company limited 1896 AC 2022 transfer as boot bird business which in actually run as a sole proprietorship. So here is Salman and versus Salman is a sole proprietorship to a newly formed company for a 14,000 pound. The price of a such transfer paid to Salman by the shares and the debenture having floating charges. So here is there is a business and which name is Salman versus Salman. This is a sole proprietorship and the worth of this business is 40,000 pound, and the price of transfer paid to Salman is Salman by the in the form of shares or a debenture, and after the deduction of the floating charges. So here is a 7 shareholding Salman versus Salman business, wife, daughter, and 4 sons, and have a 1 share. All having a 1 share. Company went to depression within a year, and due to the trade depression, when company would up its asset were worth of rupees 6,000 pound and liability 7,000 pound, 10,000 secured, 7,000 unsecured. So out of these, there is a bifurcation is given here. uh, the assets of rupees 6,000 pound and liabilities of rupees 17,000 pound, and secured rupees 10,000 pound, and other unsecured creditors 7,000 pound. So unsecured creditor claimed that Salman and his company over one and a claim person, so they demand for a priority of a payment of debt. Yes, of course. Generally, we have studied about secure loan are most of the company are preferred to payment when they are dissolved or they are depressed. But in that case, insecure creditors are claimed and for the priority of payment of debt. But it was held that the company was, in the eyes of law, a separate legal person, independent of Salman, and not an agent, as the player of the unsecured creditor of the precedence was rejected. That's why when unsecured creditors are talking about and they are requested to pay as a priority of when they are this company are press. So as we know, in the eyes of a company, as per the company law, we are knowing about that when company are dissolved or are depressed, so different priorities we were decided, like first priority of the company or any businesses paid their secured creditors. The terms is secured, which means they are, in the case of any businesses dissolved or are depressed, they are first priority of all the business to have to pay to those creditors. Those are secured. That's why here is a rejected this player. Second point is incorporation, association. Company is associated of a person, yes, found by registered in the under the Companies Act 2013. Forming a public company, at least 7%, yes, we know. In public company, minimum person is 7, but on the another side, in private company, minimum person is 2. Name of company considered in a MOA and with other requirement in respect of registration. Yes, MOA is a constitution of the company. Here we can decide the name of the company and which is suitable or approved by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs or a ROC. And next is artificial person. Yes, company is an artificial person. None of us can be see like a visible sense this is a company, or we can't meet like a person to them because company is a separate legal entity plus artificial person, and no exist with the physical form, nobody, no soul, no conscience, cosines. It is, does not have attribute like a people, and we can call it a fictitious person. It have existence with the eyes of law. Yes, same. It have a residence, domicile, and nationality, but does not have a fundamental rights, which is given to natural person mental. Uh, mentioned in Constitution of India. Yes, a company is a artificial person but not a citizen of India, because in the Constitution of India there is lots of section are provided, and yeah, according to the law, Indian law, every citizen of India have a fundamental rights, but company haven't, because of this is an artificial person, not a citizen of India. Limited liability. Company limited from liability and shareholder. Shareholder have a limited liability and paid values of share. Once they have a paid values amount on the shares held them, and they have no obligation. In the case of losses, shareholders are not called to manage the losses of company. Creditor cannot claim personal wealth of shareholder. Yes, limited liability means if a company, for an example, if a company issues shares of rupees 10 each, and they will call of rupees 5 allotment plus first call, and their shareholder also paid it. But when their shareholder fully paid up share, it means when company in for example company call rupees 10, that is a full value of shares, and their shareholder also paid it, so at that time fully paid up share. So at this situation their members or their shareholders have a unlimited liability towards company. But on the another scenario, when they have only paid of rupees 5 towards the company, so they have only limited liability, because that much of amount they are contribute or they are invest in a company, for that much part they are liable for it. That's why limited liability. Perpetual succession, yes, of course, company is never gonna stop, because if for an example, if a company, if a member or a shareholder of a company is resign, admit, retire, or even a death, now nobody can stop a company uh, except by the order of a court or by the majority of the shareholders. Common seal, yes, of course, that we know, company is a artificial person, so they have not any physical any physical presence to sign on the behalf of them. So at that time we were using for the sign of a particular company, that is a common seal. When we needed a sign of a company in any document, so we at that time we were using common seal or a stamp. Transfer of shares, yes, company capital is divided into a small uh, unit called shares. The shares of the company transfer in the case of company if it transfer freely, but in private company there are some restriction under section 44 of the company act 2013. It's provided that the shares, debenture, other interest of the members of a company are movable property. As transfer of a company in a public company, some rights and duties are given and some freedom are also there, but on the other hand private company there are some restrictions, like transfer of share. They can't transfer of shares to their members under section 44, or a property also. So bye bye guys. If you like this video, hit the bell icon for never miss an update, and we can continue with d.nikita. And in the next class we were discussed about lifting off corporate. So I hope you like this video, and bye bye, and meet you soon.